You're watching TVC Breakfast. Let's get to our next discussion now. As the campaign season gets heated up, many people are coming out and showing support for who they want that can take the country to the next level. For the APC presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's seen by many as the only one who can resolve the insecurity crisis and the constant inflation affecting the Nigerian economy. Now, with just a few months to the 2023 elections, candidates have started presenting their manifestos and what they would do if elected into the highest political seat in the country. That is the crux of our discussion. And joining us in looking at this, joining us is in the studio to discuss this is the choice of a president will be Bola Tinubu is a documentary photographer who tells stories while exposing the beauty of Nigeria through the lens of his camera lens. It is my pleasure to let you know we have photography icon Dayo Adedayo here in the studio. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Very good. Now, you organized an exhibition sometime, a photo exhibition for Bola Tinubu, and a lot of people were there. And there were pictures of him that a lot of people had never seen before.
Even
some
himself.
videos of a lot of people had not seen before. They saw it for the first time. Give them a new idea of who this man is. Now, talk to us basically. You have been with the candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, for a while, and you know him so well. Why should Nigerians have him so dear to their minds at this time?
Good morning. Good morning, sir. First time of meeting you live.
Nice.
There is a proverb in Yoruba language that says the person that is going to clothe you, you have to look at what the person is wearing, right? That is what I will start with, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you look at, you talked about the flood not too long ago. Without the Eco-Atlantic, there might not be Victoria Island today. And in some of the pictures I gave you, you will see the whole Amadu Bello Way being eaten up by the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, the federal government are just doing palliatives, sending money from Abuja, 3-4 billion naira.
4 billion naira, yes.
In those days.
In those days, which is probably like
about
20.
probably like $4 billion, right? Just to do shore up. This guy came up and said, no, we must have a permanent solution to this thing. Mind you, the federal government controls the waterways,
Exactly.
not the state. You know, so that's number one. Number two, which is very good for the younger generation, that a lot of people do not even think about. I don't know whether I should say it on national telly or not, but this is a conversation between me and Asiwaju, just the two of us, when he was going through some pictures. The comedians of today hold Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu a lot. Without the Eco Hotel Convention Center, which a lot of people do not think about, the entertainment industry will not be what it is today.
Yeah.
They usually goes to the beach in Badagry or the, what is it called, Bar Beach of those
Bar
days.
Beach. The old
Yes,
Bar Beach.
to have concerts. There was an event to be hosted by Nigeria, and there is no convention hall at all in Nigeria. And Asiwaju told me the story, how he went to go and meet the Shagori, the owners of a hotel, that this is a great opportunity for you. You have to find one way or the other to build a convention center, which led to the Eco Hotel Convention Center today. And proud to the Eco Convention.
It's not only you. When that idea was going on, I had a conversation with him on that very issue too.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
So for someone who can see the future and bring things together, for me, Nigeria is a crossroad at the moment. And once in every country's or in every nation's lifetime, things happened and that person will come, the Abraham will come, that will lead. He might not see the end. Asiwaju won't see the greater Nigeria, but I'm 100% sure it will lead us to the promised land. That's number 2. There is another picture that I sent to you, a football team. It's ESCO members. Look at that picture critically and look at the faces of those who are in the picture. And go back to the proverb that I told you about. The person that is going to clothe you, that is going to buy you clothes, you have to look at what the person is wearing. You know, you can't say you want to give me 10 naira and I know you don't want 1 kobo. So where will you get the 10 naira from? So Asiwaju knows.
This is the. No, they just
No, this is
the photo. If they can go back, that is the
okay, all right. This is
social-
yeah, okay, yeah. Look at the picture.
This is the football team.
Yeah, that's the football team. Just look at that and look at the numbers of people in this one singular. That's the current governor of Lagos State.
Oh, with the cap, the one squatting there.
Yes,
there.
I can see there. I can see Tunji Bello there.
Yes,
You know?
I'm looking at people who are playing national politics at the
I
moment.
can see
That
someone
is
there.
that's
I can see
Senator
someone
Bamidele there.
I can see
Wonderful.
yes. I can see a former finance commissioner.
Yes.
You know, there's all these guys.
The one at the edge, is that former commissioner of health?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
yes,
it.
yes,
Health,
yes,
yes,
yes.
yes.
That's Gbajabi Amila.
Okay, okay.
You know, that's
Gbajabi
Muiz
Amila is
Muiz Banere.
Muiz
all
Banere
of
is
those.
there.
Exactly.
You know, so you have to get the other candidates.
You can see Orelokwe there too.
Yes,
Orelokwe
exactly.
is there.
That's beside
Former
me.
Who is in
deputy.
Abuja? That's
Yeah.
that's governor, former governor Fashola.
Fashola is there.
Is there.
Fashola is there on the
You know, so for me, what sorry, I want to refer to Abiola, to Asiwaju represents, is our Abraham of today. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, we don't celebrate our own when they are alive. It's when they are gone that we start writing a lot of eulogies, this, that. This is the time for Nigeria, and I'm on national telly. I pray Asiwaju wins the election. And my own take is, Nigeria is at a crossroad. We shouldn't play party politics. Let's get the best for Nigeria, whether it's in Labour Party, whether it's in PDP, they should form a government that will move the country forward. Why should Nigeria be doing very well outside the shores of Nigeria? And the moment you get to Murtala Mohammed Airport, nothing seems
Yes,
to be.
this is a
Yeah,
picture.
this was the first thing he did.
The first thing he did.
That was the first
Can
thing
they
he
go
did.
back and they
Yes.
and they
I mean, this is Dumago. Do you still see this in Lagos?
This is
you know, so
Dumago.
the younger generation,
Yeah,
they do not even know
this
where
younger
we're coming
people
from.
yes.
They don't know this.
The
The
Molue.
Molwes of
Molwes,
this. I mean,
yes.
look at the crowd.
This
And
is what he inherited
this is what he inherited.
as governor. Yeah.
And guess what? What Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu is even doing now with the rail line coming on board in December is going to change the face of Lagos completely.
Yeah.
Now imagine if Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has done what Asiwaju is doing in Lagos,
On a
to have a
national scale.
continuity at the federal level. We won't be talking about
Yeah, this is this
yeah,
is the
this is
this is
yeah,
the
this
new,
is Babish.
This used to be the Babish.
Yeah, no.
Oh, this is
no,
the
the
Babish
Babish has
now.
gone.
Beginning.
This was the beginning.
This is the beginning of the
Of the
transformation.
Yes,
yeah,
of the transformation. That's Ahmadu Bello.
Have a co-Atlantic. today.
Yes, before he came Atlantic.
Because the thing was washing in.
Well, washing. There is another picture where you will see the road being washed off. Yeah, I sent that. I don't know whether you have it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
They'll show
if they
that
can go
some
back
thing.
to that. So for me, Asiwaju, to me, is is 25 to 40 years ahead of his peers.
Wow.
You know, and we don't get that all the time. It's only once in a generation. I mean, we talked about the likes of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Saldana, and Michael Okpara, which a lot of people has not even given credit to in the First Republic. You know, if you look at what these guys have done, nobody has been able to achieve what those three men did in their days. Now we have an Asiwaju alive with us. It's just like Ebenezer Obey that I refer to as the second greatest philosopher ever this world has ever seen, after Orunmila.
Wow.
You know, we don't celebrate our own, you know, and
I always celebrate Ebenezer Obey because his songs.
I mean, look at Agege Motoro.
Yeah.
This Agege
This is
Motoro.
Idioro.
I see.
This is what Asiwaju inherited.
Wait.
You know, the younger generation don't have a clue where we are coming from.
Isn't this what some people say in the news business? Say news displaces memory.
Absolutely.
News
This is
displaces
Agege
memory.
Motoro.
That's what happens here.
This is
It's
Idioro.
Agege Dioro.
Idioro. I grew up in this area, so I know this road very well.
A lot of young people will not.
No, they don't understand. They don't
They
know.
just say, well,
They
they woke
don't
up, they woke up seeing Better Lagos. I said, what has it done?
What has it done?
Look at this.
Look at
This is
Idumago.
Oshodi. Is it Dumago?
This is Idumago.
Okay.
There is another picture of Oshodi. If you go to, this is what Asiwaju inherited in Lagos. This was before Loma.
Hey.
Asiwaju created Loma.
Yes.
The third point is, let's take last man out of Lagos for 2 days.
There'll be disaster.
This was, that is Moise Banire as the commissioner for works. This was the day Loma was inaugurated. Right? Let's take Loma off Lagos roads for 2 days. Then they will know they will know what Asiwaju has done. Then number 4,
This
Wale Edun commissioner.
Commissioner
And
of
guess
Finance,
what?
yes.
This
See,
was
see.
yeah,
This
this
is
is
the old
Oshodi.
This is Oshodi.
This is Oshodi.
Whoa.
This is
Yay.
Oshodi. So for me,
So it's a whole day's project if you're going to Oshodi those days. If you're
oh,
going
no,
there,
no,
you-
no, you won't even go there. You won't even go. No, don't go there. Don't go there. The people that goes to Oshodi
Hey.
have business to do in Oshodi.
Hey.
Because if you want to go further down, you have to find a way to bypass.
Look at this.
I mean, look at Oshodi.
Ah,
Look at this.
the old Molu, eh?
Yes, we don't see this anymore. So that is what I do as a photographer.
Where is this?
This is Oshodi too,
Oshodi.
where you have the bus terminal now.
Oh.
This is Oshodi as well, where you have the bus terminal. You know, so for me as a photographer,
Lagos has really changed.
now this young generation do not see what we have seen, and it's not their fault. To me, there is no.
Where is this?
That's okay. This is this.
No, they showed somewhere.
Yeah, this is the first time he came back from Ezra. I mean, look at all the southern governors in 1999. Where are they? These are all the southern
They've
governors.
disappeared off the end of the earth.
And that's
This is the last man.
the
because
last
the
man
last man
standing. I mean, look at his commissioners. That's the vice president over there, Senator Tokunbo Afikuyomi there. You know, so when you look at this man, what he has done, where he came from, then you have to doff your heart for him. And that is what I keep telling people.
Look at these people.
This is Ahmadu Bello way.
There are more pictures.
No, there are more
those
pictures.
in charge of the pictures should keep rolling them out. I don't know why they are so slow. I mean, they should get all the other pictures out.
Look at Ahmadu Bello.
Look at Ahmadu Bello.
This is Ahmadu Bello.
This is Ahmadu Bello.
This is Ahmadu
There's
Bello.
the work.
Look at this. Look at this.
Okay.
Look at this is Ahmadu Bello.
Look at
Ahmadu Bello. And this is what the federal government kept doing. Just pumping sand and all of it. So, I mean, look at the business community.
That's Dangote.
You know,
I was talking with them.
And this is the first Enron badge. Asiwaju was the first governor in Nigeria to go private, to say, why should Lagos not generate its own electricity?
Yes.
He brought in Enron, and that is him over there. I mean, I can't remember the day, what I told
And that
him.
is the beginning of the country thinking
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
having discos and
Yes, he started it.
started
There were
it, yes.
He started
IPPs
it.
and all of that.
and
And so
IPPs
on.
and all that, yes.
And look at that, Governor Ide.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
all
Governor
those
Ide,
guys
yes.
have become something
yes.
in the society.
Yeah.
This is a transformer. You know, so I have to
This
look
is him.
at
This
it.
is him with in his.
so you
they
can't-
are saying Muslim.
Muslim.
This is,
No, Asiwaju, you know, I mean, someone that married a pastor.
Yeah, exactly.
Please. You know, so for me as a photographer, I go with evidence. You have to show me what you're talking about. And all the major contenders, what have they done? Where are they coming from? Those are the things that I use to judge, to say, I'm going all the way half for this guy. You know, so at the end of the day, there are so many things going on for him that if I should...
There's a picture of this. They just showed here of people on the back of
Molu.
Of Molu.
Yeah,
Used to be,
that's what they do.
used to be a common sight in those days.
In those days, yes.
And this thing I was looking at used to be very, very common.
Yeah, common all over the
This
place.
judge-
I mean, look at him giving cars to the magistrates over there because the current Vice President, Professor Asiwaju, was the Attorney General then in those
From
days.
Lagos State,
You know, and federal government copied Lagos State. What Lagos State did in terms of tax, that Mr. Wale Edun did that, was what the federal government copied to form FRS. You know, at a point, they were coming to Lagos to learn how they do it in Lagos. And you have to give it to Asiwaju. When he said Governor Fashola was going to be the governor then, all the party members went against it.
Well, some parts of the party members.
Not all. Not all.
Yeah,
some part, no, not all. So, you know, went against him to say, no, it can't be this guy. He's not a politician. It's not this, not that. But what he saw,
many people didn't see.
Now people are praising him. And look at Fashola, where he is today. When Ambode came, another fight.
Yes.
To say, oh, no, this, that. Even those who are supporting Ambode now, where were they when Asiwaju said, this is the guy to come? Okay, now look at the new kid on the block, Governor Olajide Sanwo-Olu.
All of them.
Look at what he has done.
Yeah.
And when you look at, I even have an exhibition coming on Governor Olajide Sanwo-Olu soon, this month.
Okay.
Because when you look at what she has been able to achieve in 2 years, mind you, there was lockdown of COVID, nothing could happen.
Paralysis. He became even the leader of the country.
Yeah,
exactly.
When in the middle of, when there was no leadership anywhere, it was the one that was. And at one time, I called him the president of Nigeria.
I won't go into that. I won't go into that. But what he has been able to achieve in 2 years, I think we've been talking about Jack Onde for the past 40 years. To me, he has surpassed what Governor Lateef Jakonde has been able to achieve in 4 years and 3 months. He was able to, he tried, I mean...
Yeah, but Jakonde was good for his time.
That's right.
Jakonde was very good at trying to clean up things.
That's right.
But it was not so much a modernizer like Asiwaju. It was not that visionary. It was more of if you look like, if you want to use the expression, somebody is an architect and another person is a repairer.
That's
It
right.
was more of repairing the bridge.
Yes.
It was a repairer of the bridge. Now, Asiwaju is a visionary.
That's right.
He's the one who wants to create a new car. Jakonde wanted to fix the car.
That's right.
Asiwaju wants to create a new car. That's the difference between Asiwaju and Jakonde. Yes.
So when you look at everything in total, Asiwaju is the best man for the job, and is a fishers of men. And if we're thinking of the future, this is the person that will be able to plant people that will take the country further.
When you are taking pictures of Asiwaju, taking pictures about him, what is that thing that goes on in your mind?
It is strange, really, because when great men are sitting in front of your lens, I'm Mr. Nobody from a very lowly background, sitting in front of, there is no living head of state that hasn't been in front of my lens to start with. But in terms of Asiwaju, he's a different person. Asiwaju can change from being serious in a second.
But Nigerians are beginning to see it now. This campaign with a Miloko Olule. I think so many people know from that they have a sense of humor.
It's something else.
Church rat and poison only
Idioms and
communion.
everything. You know, so interacting with him, you have to be on top of your game. And he told me at the point, he knows a lot about photography as well.
Oh.
Yeah, he knows. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he studied photography at the point.
People
Yes, he studied
tend not to
photography
know
at the point.
that Asiwaju is a devourer of information. I remember those days when there were so many court cases in the Southwest. I saw a book of legal theory on his table
No, he's a
was
voracious
trying
reader.
was trying to read law
Yes.
himself, to teach himself law, so that when the lawyers are giving them, he too has something to
say.
He's a voracious reader, and that is one thing I took away from him as well. He reads a lot. He reads a lot.
He studied speed reading in Chicago. He reads very fast.
Okay.
And so when you give Asiwaju something to read, if you are in front of him, before you know, he has bumped to the second page. But you have not finished. No, I have finished reading it. Because I studied speed reading in Chicago. He was adept at it. Yes. So it goes through information very fast. So it's the devourer of information.
Fantastic. So the issue that you were talking about, because there was a question he asked, and you were trying to explain what goes through your mind when, taking a picture of him. And where I see you going is that anything can happen any moment. You are just prepared, because every moment matters. How you capture it, what stories it tells, and so on.
Yeah, the first thing is, the first time I met him, the first time I took his portrait, was I want to know the kind of person he is. So we will talk. From the conversation, I know where I'm going to. But before even coming in front of the lens, I have an idea of what I'm looking for.
Yes.
All I'm looking for is just one image. I might take 1 million images, but what I'm looking for is just that singular image that will say, this is Asiwaju for you. But after our conversation, I now see that he is a different being entirely. And of course, I will start a conversation. While we were talking, I'm shooting. And there'll be a time I will just tell him, sir, let's see the reaction when you want to take a serious decision. This is not a laughing matter or whatever. Even though I have the camera on me, my assistants are doing what they have to do, positioning the lighting and stuff like that. I will just click, and you have to be on top of your game, because anything could happen. A phone call might come, and Asiwaju will say, no more. I'm going. And you have to just wait, and that's it. It's gone. Or it might be nice to you and say, oh, Dayo, let's do this for Dayo today. I don't want to see anybody, and with Dayo all day today, nothing. So that at that moment, you've won. And if Madam comes in, Senator, that's another thing.
That changes the dynamics. Of course, it will change. It will change.
Because she is a cracker. She's a cracker. Actually, she shouldn't be in politics. Actually,
wow.
She should be a comedian. If you don't know her, because she's my very, very good mama. If you don't know her, you will think she's that. But she's a serious comedian. When she comes in, she takes over.
Yes.
The wardrobe. No, Dayo, can't you see this? Can't you see that?
Yeah.
Then while she's doing that, I'm clicking off. Just to get what I'm looking for.
She's also good. She's also a good conversationalist.
Oh, yes.
Now, when you take Asiwaju, the intimate moments, do you have any photos of intimate moments, himself and his family, himself and his moments when you catch him off guard thinking and things like that?
Several. Because what I try to do is, there's confidentiality in everything we do. There are things we hear you can't discuss. There are pictures you take. I have thousands of pictures I've taken of people off cuff that nobody will see them. They're dead in my archives, but nobody can have access to them without the password. Or I have several of that as well. Several of that.
What do you take out of that?
Photography goes beyond just recording images on films. It's more of psychology, how people relate when they talk of someone, because in most cases, people talk about you without even knowing you.
Yes.
But by the time you start interacting with people and you see them, they're just normal human beings, but circumstances have thrown them, because not everybody is a leader. And leaders, you have so many darts being thrown at you. But as a leader, you can't talk. It's not everybody you can respond to. You just take it as it is. But in terms of Asiwaju himself, he is a family person, very, very good man. Not because I know him personally, extremely generous, and he has a seventh sense. You deal with Asiwaju in 24 hours, he knows you in out.
Okay. All right.
And
We'll
he
talk more.
doesn't forget.
No, he has a fantastic memory.
Great memory.
Great
Yeah.
memory.
We'll talk about this, and when we come back, let's delve into his agenda and how to market it, as a way of letting Nigerians know so Nigerians can own it. We'll come back to this. You're watching TVC Breakfast. We're discussing the man of the moment, and we're talking about the presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, from the eyes and lens of icon Dayo Adedayo, and he's helping us make sense of areas that we haven't known. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. You're watching TVC Breakfast. In the studio, we have a photography icon, Dayo Adedayo, with us in the studio. We've been making sense of the man, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and getting to know him better. He has worked with him for so many years, and he understands him more than so many Nigerians. And we're trying to see how we can also get closer in that knowledge. It's nice to have you stay with us. Yeah. Now, you have taken some photos, some pictures that have gone viral across the world that represents Nigeria, that represents different aspects of life and so on. So when it comes to marketing a country or marketing any object or marketing a person, you've done all of those. So now let's go into the programs that Asiwaju has in stock. When it comes to marketing those projects or those programs, pictorially, for Nigerians to own, for Nigerians to bond with and even understand, how do we go about that?
These days, the social media has taken over media, and the traditional media are struggling.
Following from behind, playing a catch-up.
Yeah, they are struggling. So for me, it's more of social media work, because this younger generation, how old are they? If you look at the ones that are 30 to 40, minus 1999 to 2002 from their age. How old? So how old are they?
They're still young.
So aside from talking about the contemporary issues in Nigeria, we need to go back in time, because you need to know where you are coming from for you to be able to know where you're going to. And that is what is lacking in them. And because they are not deep in terms of education, these days you ask a university graduate, who is this, who is that? they will look blank. Meanwhile, in our days in primary school, you know the head of state, all the commissioners who are today ministers, you know all the capitals of Africa.
You even have an idea of history.
History in primary school. I'm not talking about secondary school.
Yes,
in primary school, you know, because studying for your primary school leaving certificate is like studying for your A-levels.
You even knew the Secretary General of the OAU.
OAU,
Exactly.
you know,
All
United
international
Nations,
organizations,
International
ECOWAS,
Organization.
you know, and so
Kangaki.
on.
So for me, the team needs to go back into history and mix it with contemporary issues. So for the younger ones to know, if they don't know, so they'll be able to appreciate where we are coming from. That the British governed us for over 100 years. By the time they left, how many secondary schools do we have? How many universities do we have? People can say Nigeria is not doing very well. But when you look at what we've been able to achieve from 1960 up to today, if the British are still in control, we wouldn't have those numbers of schools to start with. So same thing applies into contemporary politics as well. Let this generation know where we were before and where we are today.
And then where we are
going to. Because Asiwaju made mention of something during the week. Corruption. How do we get the economy going? It's by credit. Why do you have to have a house and you pay upfront? It makes no economic sense. Nowhere in the world do you pay upfront to get a house.
Only in Nigeria.
Nowhere will you buy a car. You know, you want to buy 10 million, 15 million naira car, you have to put down the cash. Yeah. Of course, corruption will come in one way or the other. You might collect 10 naira, I might be collecting 1,000 naira, you know, to make it up to be able to pay. That we need to open up credit.
But that credit system, of course, as good as it may be, do we have the kind of data that should back it up? Because if you're going to give credit to people, there has to be a database of information of the people.
Fantastic. I'm very happy for that question. Why? That's an opportunity for those who are in that field to come in and play.
Another opening for
Opening.
Yeah, exactly.
Because whenever there is an opportunity, whenever new things happens, opportunities will be open for people to play. I mean, photography, I can say it on national telly. Photography wasn't like this in 2003 when I started playing it. I've played my own role, and other people are coming behind me who are even better than me in the field. So we need someone to lead. And that is what Asiwaju is saying. So we need to go back into history and break it up with what is happening today and analyze those things in simpler forms on social media. Let it come down to their level in social media, because Asiwaju seems to be far ahead of people. And when he talks in parables, idioms, or metaphors, they can't understand him. To say, they'll now be saying, what is this man saying? You know, because they've not been able to go through the school that they need to know all these things. And if you look at Lagos, for example, not being mischievous now, but if you look at Lagos, just imagine 20 states out of the 36 states in Nigeria are like Lagos. Lagos will not be this populated. The population of Lagos now, according to statistics, is over 30 million.
Wow. It is one of the receptacles of Nigeria's failure, Lagos. Lagos is also the excuse for the failures of many states in the country, because it absorbs all of their failures, and people come.
People are leaving those states for Lagos, and
the interesting thing about them is that they see things going on in Lagos, and then they start acting as though they don't have a state that they came from that has failed, and they're acting as no, we don't have this, we don't have this, and you don't have half of that in your state. You're not holding your state accountable. I had an encounter with somebody on my on one platform. I won't mention what platform. It was arguing, we don't have this, we don't have. Then I mentioned all the things Lagos are doing. I said, in your state, for instance, you don't have half of any of this. You can't even hold them. This is a lawyer. I said, you can't even ask. You can't even hold your state responsible. You are trying to ask from Lagos what you cannot ask from your own states.
All right. Now, we'll have time to talk about this. We're just scratching the surface. Unfortunately, time has gone this far, but we will talk more as we get along, because things are just getting started. But we thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nice meeting you, sir.
All right, we've been talking with photography icon, Dayo Adedayo, with us in the studio. He's been drawing us closer to the man, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and we'll have more time to talk with him on this program going